Hi my YouTube family, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I thank you so much for being here today. Today we're going to have a wonderful time together. Today I'm going to do a video, and this is something from thousands of years ago. Women in India were forbidden to enter the temple during their periods, during 3 or 4 days in a month. So this was not just forbidden from entering the temple, this was also forbidden to be intimate with their husband, forbidden to enter the kitchen or do any religious work or cooking or taking care of people. And they were given a room, an isolation where the food was brought to them, and they were resting those 4 days. Now do keep in mind that thousands of years ago they didn't have sanitary pads or napkins, so the women used just cloth, just clean cloth, and these cloths used to get wet from time to time. And those days, do keep in mind that women used to have big families, so they had 10 or 12 kids and big house and in-laws and joint family, many family members, probably in a family 20 to 25 members in big house. Plus they had the chores of the cows and chickens and their gardens and farms, all these things. So they had a lot of work during the daytime. So since they used to wear this cloth, just cotton cloth, and the cloths used to get wet often because of their hard work. And those 4 days, 3 to 4 days, they had headaches and they had body aches, they had tummy aches, and they had regular mood problems. So they've been given rest because they worked rest of the days of the month so much that they've been given rest at least 3 days, maximum 4 days, but at least 3 days. And their body system was so pure and good that it actually ended on 3 days. The third day, fourth day, they didn't have much. So from fourth day, they could resume the normal schedule. But the 3 days, they had to rest from everything. Now, usually, during this period of time, woman has a lot of problems with their body. As I mentioned, many aches and pains, so resting was really good. And they used to use the hot pads and massage to comfort themselves, or someone else did it for them in the family. But their husbands weren't allowed in that room, and if the woman is young woman, she stayed on that room, so they were given rest. Now, they were not allowed to go to any religious event or enter the temple because they were considered unpure, not pure, because the fact that what comes out of the body during these 3 days or 4 days is actually impurities. Actually, these are the toxins and poisons, and this called poisonous blood. So this blood needs to come out, the toxins and poison washed out from the body, and this actually kept women very healthy. So the women had a good period, about a solid 3 days. They were very healthy. Usually you see woman gets very sick, unhealthy, puts on weight, lot of problems after menopause. So period is a good thing for women. But why they were not allowed in a temple? Because of not having sanitary napkins, wearing cloth, all day working, and their health being that time bad. And Also, they might be dropping bloods and things everywhere, making it dirty. So that's why they're forbidden to go there. And the talk about being impure, it comes from it is excretion of body toxins. The blood is toxins, actually toxic blood. So that's why they were called impure, and they shouldn't do prayers and all that. But now that women working outside and they have to do everything, they have to do their chores, but it's not for 50 people because these are all single families and just husband, wife, one child, two child, three child maximum. So they have less work, but they do still have the same issues with headache, body pain, pain in the stomach, but still there's a stigma about entering the temple. They don't allow the women to enter the temple, but right now in this society no one is stopping them to enter. If they quietly enter, they can enter. But those days everybody knew everybody, so this was a little difficult. But in present time that's not the problem. But the real reason behind it is a lot of people really don't know. They thought that the woman's body is impure, but if this period, the menstrual cycle, did not happen, then woman's body will not be ready for a child. So this time the eggs gets mature and they are ready for fertilization. So after the period, the fertilization occurs around the days of 17th, 18, 19 days after the fertilization, starting from the day after the day they start their period, from that day to counting 15 days, and from 15 days to 21, 22 days is the time frame they have to conceive a child, because that's the time fertilization occurs. Now if they didn't conceive a child that during that time frame from the day 15 to day 22, then the cycle again starts over, and the eggs which were came out for fertilization, and those eggs actually comes out through the next period. So the women are born with all the eggs they're going to have. Unlike men produces their sperm daily, women are born with all the eggs they're going to have. So as a woman gets older and chooses not to have kids at early age, later age, the eggs also becomes older, and sometimes they have becomes defective as well. So that's why a lot of people decide to adopt or get eggs from donor eggs, things like that, or maybe freeze their eggs at an early age. So the real reason for women not to enter the temple is actually different from what is believed to be. The real reason is these 3-4 days. Actually, the fact that saying that they are not impure, actually they are very pure. And these 3-4 days, actually, they are able to absorb everyone's energy. And that's why they were kept inside the home and resting by themselves, because they absorb sad energy, happy energy, quarrel energy, crying energy, because they do these emotions, and now we justify that to hormonal changes. But according to the Vedas of years back, that they were able to absorb energies from anybody and everybody. Now energies are good or bad, so depending on what energy they absorb. So if they limit how many people they meet, so they're not going to be absorbing many people's energies. That's number one. Number two, when they go to temple, temple, usually what happened, we have god, goddesses, statues, and these statues come, and then the priest pray and install life to that statue. Now the statue has life and energy force in it, divine energy in it. Now a woman being that time 3-4 days, being able to tap into other people's energy field and take it. So when they enter the temple, not only they tap into everyone else's energy field in that temple and absorb it, they also were tapping into this god and goddesses statues energy field and taking that energy. So the statue of god and goddesses became energyless and lifeless because the woman actually took that energy. So that is why they were forbidden, because then the god and goddesses energy and their life, which is being installed through prayers, just like we get stones, the jewel stones, we get it, any kind of stones, we get it. We wash it and put our intentions to the stone, and whatever we want that stone to do for us, we just send our wishes to that. So same thing, they install life to the god statue through their prayers, and then we pray to that, and whatever we wish, that comes because we pray what we wish. So the gemstone, the way the god statue works the same way. So that's why they're forbidden, because if they went in there and they're so pure and they are able to absorb energy, they could absorb the god's energy and the life which is installed in it. So the god will be lifeless, and the priest has to reinstall the life and energy, which they didn't want it, because it's installed only once, and then it continues for many days until they have the time to take the god, and they do a visurgin where they let the god go to their home. They take it to a river and let the god go to her home, put the god inside the river. And these gods used to be made with clay, a special kind of clay, and that's kind of god is in all the temple, made with clays. And then the priests install life and energy force to it through prayers. So that is the biggest reason they were not allowed inside the temple. But then they make it as if they're impure and that's not good for them. But there's one reason is they didn't have sanitary napkins, cloth, and it's used to get wet, and when it's wet it also leaks. It's just a cloth. So, and they didn't have time to change it many times. Frequently changing means either throwing or washing, and they didn't have that time all the time because they were very busy in their life. So that's why also those days they were sick that time. Now you have a lot of medicine take for your headache, for your tummy ache, but those days they didn't take any medicines because they believed that it's the poisons and toxins. Usually they say when you have a headache, what does that mean? It means your body got toxins and poison. That's what giving the headache. So when the toxins and poisons are coming out of the body, of course they have headache, they have tummy ache, they have headaches all over their bodies, but they just ate food and rested. So this was a little information about the period and how it was before and how it is now, and how different it is now and how different it was back then, and why the real reason they were not allowed in the temple. And also we had outside the temple all kinds of people from all walks of life, and they all carried different kind of energies. So a woman being vulnerable, that 4 days sucked everybody's energy, so their moods change very frequently. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you with many more. Bye bye. Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share this video. Thank you. May God bless you all.